Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me see who's here. Um, hmm. Oh, yeah. Almost forgot what to do for a second there. All right. Gwendolyn Daniels, you were here first. Very nice. Hey, Church Nelly. Rhonda Bryant. Amaka Amachukwa. Chukwu, thank you so much for being here. Hello to you, Black Queen. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy G, Ingrid Soares, Elizabeth Cumberbatch. Let me see. Audio Slave. And I said hi to Rhonda Bryan, right? Joya Moore, Lambert Charles. S is here. Susie Q. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll all the way to the last to see who was here last. Maggie Howe. All right, so let's get on to it. I'll say hi to the rest of you later. Right, Sandra Gonzalez? Thank you. Carolyn Teal, lovely. Thank you for being here. Elaine Parker. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? So today was the last day for Wimbledon, which is already tomorrow in the UK. But and this is going to be tomorrow's headline for the Independent. Well, front page for the Independent. As you can see, the new king of the center court. And of course, now the royal family are dragged into the N word race row. Interesting. Anyway, I have to tell you too, I got some good news. I got such a good night's sleep. I mean, to tell you, I feel very energized today. But I needed that. The rain and everything was just messing with me. And anyway, I am so glad. If you guys are not getting good sleep, stop holding your phone or tablet while you're in the bed. And I don't know how people sleep with the television on. I can't have it. I mean, something or somebody talking to me while I'm trying to sleep. I never understood how people can sleep with the TV on. And of course, the light from the television, it's like there's someone moving around the room while I'm trying to sleep. So I like it very dark and I like it quiet if possible. And least of all, I don't want the television on. But if you're one of those people, no judgment. I just don't know how it's done. Hi, Veronica Quick. Hey, Big Mama. And Irma Adams. Beverly McCaskill. Okay, thank you all. Okay. Oh, by the way, you guys, guess what today is? Guess what today is? In the US and maybe a few other places, it is, are you ready for it? Happy National Ice Cream Day. So if you have been avoiding the calories, I have just given you a license to thrill. Go and get yourself some ice cream. Yes, go and get yourself some ice cream. It is National Ice Cream Day. Why not? I mean, you wouldn't want to be a no ice cream heathen, would you? So have some ice cream. Enjoy it. Even if you're lactose intolerant, that's okay. You probably need a good BM. Let me see. uh, Big Mama, you sleep with the television on? Oh no, I don't know how people do that. That doesn't relax me. If anything, is I can't take it. I can't take it. I mean, I know plenty of people that do, but I like it quiet. And then if you've ever shared a bedroom with someone that needs the television, you have to try to wait until they're asleep so you can cut it off and get. And you know, the weird thing is, people who sleep with the TV, if you cut it off, sometimes that wakes them up. Huh? Did you say something? No, go to sleep. Although I must confess, When I was a teenager, I had a favorite radio station that played smooth music, love songs all day and night. And I would leave it on as low as possible. And I think that is how I learned a few songs, is because of that. But I haven't done that in years either. But that was very relaxing. And then I went through a period where I had like a I guess it was like a mini air purifier. It was like something you could put on a night table. It had like the charcoal filter and everything. Well, that little fan made, like, I guess what you would call white noise. It was like that shh. I would put that on and just, let the hum of that just put me to sleep. So that was one thing I did. Well, two things: the radio on super low and an air purifier. But other than that, as we say in France, s'il vous plaît, silence. Right? S'il vous plaît, silence. That means shut up, please. S'il vous plaît, silence. All right. Rohini, I sleep with the fan on my face. You know, okay, I could do that one. I don't do it, but I get that. I get that because it gets you some nice, fresh air in your face. Because sometimes when you're trying to sleep, the air can just be so still and it's good to have some like air coming at you. I like that one. I like that one. As a matter of fact, I have a niece that does that all the time. She has to have her fan, so I'm okay with that one. I think that would not ruin it for me. And I sleep with the AC on, which is something a lot of people can't do. They wake up in pain or something like that. Not me. Of course, I do load up the blankets when I sleep with the AC on, but yeah, some people they don't like that. They say that it causes their arthritis to flare up. And I guess maybe it's doing the same thing to me, and I'm in denial about it. But I hate to wake up all, sweaty and everything. Hate that. Ugh. Okay, so on with today, National. Remember, if you guys have been cutting calories, this one day is not going to hurt you. Besides, it is the patriotic thing to do. If you guys know anything about the commander in chief, he loves his chocolate chip ice cream. That's his favorite, chocolate chip ice cream. I love Ben and Jerry's New York Super Chunk. What is it? New York Fudge Chunk? New York Super Fudge Chocolate Chunk? Anyway, that's my favorite. I love Ben and Jerry's. Although sometimes ice cream does not agree with me, but I'll take my chances. What? You have your winter in the summertime. No, you have your summer in the wintertime. uh, well, are you from the south of the equator, or are you just referencing the fact that I tend to keep my AC going all the time? Um, and I will admit, I do run the AC probably more than most people, but I like the cool, dry air. No wonder my lips keep splitting. Remember my lip kept splitting? Oh, that has finally healed a couple of months ago, about a month ago. But I kept splitting my lip because it's always so dry in here. Okay, so let's get on with it. Welcome those that just joined us. Again, it is National Ice Cream Day. So get your ice cream on. I have some great news. Carly Russell found alive, taken to I think it's University of Alabama Hospital for observation, but she was found. Still, we're not clear about what has happened. There was one relative who said that she was in a battle for her life for about 48 hours. They haven't released much detail, but I'm sure that will come in time. Thank you for everyone who spoke her name, who prayed, who kept that positive energy and prayers going in the direction of her and her family. It's good news because usually when something like this happens, well, we know how it goes. But it was a very strange thing, the way it unfolded, and I'll be looking forward to hearing exactly what is going on. But uh, everyone, in particular, ladies, please be aware of your surroundings. Please don't walk around with your face down in that phone. Okay, we're all guilty of it. And of course, parking lots and such, um, be aware of where you're parking. I mean, bad things can happen in a flash. Don't be a statistic. Okay, don't be a statistic. Don't take anything for granted. You have one goal every time you leave the house, and that is to get back home safe to your family. So let this be a teachable moment, whatever's going on. We just never know what the okie dokie is, right? So just be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you are not being distracted by your phone. Um, whatever seems like a distressful situation, remember to record. I'm really bad about that, but we have a eyewitness in our pocket. Record, live stream, whatever. Keep yourself safe, right? And make sure people are aware of where you are and such when you feel like there's a potential problem or risk. So it's stuff like this that is a good reminder. So I'm glad she was found. Actually, they said she went to a relative's house or whatever, and and that was that. So I don't know what happened. I'm guessing all of the pressure, all of the noise that people have been making has made a difference. I believe all of that made a difference, but we will find out in time. So um, I'm happy. I'm very, very pleased to hear that. As a matter of fact, I believe it was early this morning that we found out that she was safe. Now, one of the things that I have to say, I am so pleased about the response is not just the fact that it was so overwhelming, but I want you to take a look at this. Take a look at that. Missing person, Carly Russell, 25 years old, 150 to 160 pounds, 5'4", etc., etc. But you know what gave me goosebumps? You see this? Do you see how the women in that community have come together? Black, white. See how they come together? This should happen every time, not sometime, every time. Look at this one. You see that? Tears, concern, community, all of that is going on. And I cannot tell you how pleased I am to see this. This should be every time something like this happens, and an outpouring of support, an overwhelming amount of outcry, right? Keep the women safe. Keep our women safe. All women, keep them safe. This should be every time an overwhelming response. And this will ensure that fewer people will never come home. this will make sure that most people come home, and that people who do set these little traps out there, maybe they'll think twice about it, or maybe they'll get caught sooner. But it's something that's ongoing, and we have to face it head on. We have to face it head on. We live in a society where, it's like we train people to be criminals. The music, the movies, television, it trains the next criminal. It's unfortunate. As a society, that's what we find to be entertaining from time to time, and no wonder people celebrate and glorify firearms. It's in every movie. So anyway, glad she's home safe. I hope they'll give the family space to sort this out. The police said they want the family to decompress, and that they would, talk to her and talk to the family in time. So there you go. But this is a beautiful, beautiful photo. So let's move on to Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's farmers market. Now, as you know, they were making a big fuss about Meghan having her dog with her at the farmers market. Now, one of the accounts that I heard is that the security person that was with her was actually holding the leash of the leash that is leash that of the of is it Bo? Did she have Bo with her? And that she had went to make her purchase, and when she was done, she went back over. Now, and you'll notice too, there are no photos of her actually standing at any of the kiosks, at any of the tents or anything. There's no photo of her um, with Bo. So, oh, it was Guy. Thank you, Guy. So, of course, the tabloid, whoever took the photos, they wanted to make sure that Meghan was made to appear to be irresponsible. Like, for instance, let me see here. Okay. It just seems to me as though she was on the outer perimeter of the farmers market. I don't know that she ever went beyond the sign. I really don't know, and I really don't care. And the reason why I say that is because of this. Take a look at this. Look at these photos. The lady on the left side there, notice that there's someone holding their dog in the farmer's market. The center photo, there's someone deep within the farmer's market. And then there's a third photo of someone in the farmer's market with the dog. So one of the TikTok videos, the person made the point very clear. And by the way, here's another dog, that this sign is one of liability. It is really one of liability. I'm pretty sure it's about dogs sniffing food, right? Dogs jumping up on the, begging for food from the vendors and such. But there's not a single farmer's market where people are not there with their pets. And not just some people, a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, the sign says, with exception of recognized service animals, which brings me to my next point. Do we know whether or not Guy is a service animal? Do we know that, or don't we? Because I'm not aware of any time or place. I don't know what constitutes in the state of California a service animal. But I'll tell you this much. When I worked in retail, we were warned after giving the whole thing about, service animals. When in doubt, you don't ever refuse. You don't ever refuse. They don't even want you to say anything for fear of starting a situation. So the best thing to do is to not say anything. You just assume that everybody's companion is a service animal, and that's that. So this was an attempt to try to disparage the Duchess of Sussex, and one of the hate accounts called her an a hole, an illiterate a hole at that, um, which of course is odd because, like I said, we don't know whether the Duchess went through the farmer's market. I'm pretty sure if she went through the farmer's market, there would have been photos. But the thing is, it seems to me as though she was outside of the farmer's market and purchased her flowers from the vendor that was on the outer perimeter of the farmer's market. If Meghan had gone through the farmer's market, where are the photos? Where are the photos of Meghan walking through one kiosk, one table after the other? I'm going to tell you where they are. They don't exist. So we don't know if Meghan even walked past the sign or even seen the sign. We really don't know. But that's not the point. The point is to try to make something out of nothing. Let me see. The Daily Mail, despite picking up critical recognition in Hollywood, readers of a major British tabloid have overwhelmingly voted against the series winning award. Sky News. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's that. Are you talking to someone else? I don't know. I was looking for a comment about this situation, but okay. Let me see. There we go. Megan's dog was on a leash. Guy was not roaming around unattended. They need to shut up. Naturally, the Paps took her picture when she left the market. Exactly. Exactly. I just don't suspect that Meghan even went inside of the farmer's market. I don't suspect she went through the farmer's market. It seems as though she was at a kiosk that was like out at making up the perimeter of the market. So, oh my goodness, Elaine Parker, 22 months? How is that possible? 22 months? That's almost 2 years of membership. Wow. Elaine Parker, I am just 22 months? We've been at this for over 22 months? How could that be? I mean, you mean, how is that possible? Well, anyway, so much, Elaine Parker. Okay. All right. And let's see here. Wow, 22 months. That's incredible. Thank you so much for that. I am deeply, deeply honored. Okay. Exactly. It was a jealous Karen. Cookies and Cream says, my goodness, Meghan is free to live her life as she pleases. She isn't taxpayer funded and doesn't have to answer to anyone. The Unroyals and their racist hounds need to cease with the madness. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the article, as you know, they made it a point to show a picture of the sign, not a picture of Meghan near the sign. It just makes me very skeptical, is all, that they don't have any pictures of Meghan inside of the farmer's market. I don't suspect she even went inside of the market. I'm just saying, I see nothing wrong with buying items if you're not going beyond the sign. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. Happy 22 months of membership. Okay. And are we through with that? Daniel Masala says the British tabloids are throwing the silliest of all putties at any time they can find for sane people. None of is none of it's sticking. All right, thank you. Silly putty. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, Georgia Walker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you, or Monday morning if it is. Okay, so let's get to my uncle, shall we? We have to talk about my uncle. All my skin folks ain't kinfolk, says Zora Neale Hurston. All my skin folks ain't kinfolks. Have you heard that expression before? All of my skin folks ain't kinfolks. Well, that's a reference about people that might look like you, might talk like you, may have shared very similar life experiences, but there was a divergence somewhere. Your lives began to diverge from one another. Um, well, let me explain then. Okay. There we go. A new host to replace Sophie Ridge on Sky's Sunday morning politics show announced. Look at there. It's Uncle Phillips. Uncle Trevor Phillips. Sir Trevor Phillips to some people. Yes, I told you, my uncle. My uncle has taken over a Sunday morning show. And I said to myself, how, pray tell, did he get so lucky? Well, how do most people that look like me, talk like me, has had a similar life experience up to a point? How do they get these jobs? Well, all you got to do is tell a certain type of person what they want to hear. In this case, the very right wing British establishment. That's how you do it. Take a look here. So I thought Sir Ken was the rightful heir to the Uncle Ben legacy, but no, because as you know, Uncle Ben has been making white people feel very good for a long time by being this kind and genteel black person who knows just what they want: a nice steaming bowl of rice, wild rice, brown rice, white rice, you name it. Uncle Ben has been supplying rice to families all across America for a long time. And so realizing that people like Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima, and I'm still not sure about Mrs. Buttersworth. She's like racially ambiguous, but I'm pretty certain about Aunt Jemima. Anyway, there's just as I'm sorry, I'm just not sure about Mrs. Buttersworth. As far as I'm concerned, she's racially ambiguous until I know better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave her out of it. But Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima, I'm gonna hold their feet to the fire. So Sir Ken, he's the one who shows up for every event that involves the royal family in the city of London. He has a uniform. He shows up at the opera, the Met, not the Met, but the Royal Variety Show. He's always there. So, and he's the one who said that the Queen um, was for Black Lives Matter. Not that she was really for it, but he said they had a conversation. So she must support Black Lives Matter. See what I mean? How they say what they need to say in order to stay in favor. Well, take a look here. What's that? Yes, Mrs. Buttersworth is passing. She's passing. Okay, new host to replace Sophie Ridge on Sky's Sunday morning politics show announced. Well, I decided to help him out. I'm trying to get him out the closet. Since he won't just come out of the closet, I decided to just yank him out the closet. See? Instead of trying to look like he fits in with the whole of society by wearing a very traditional necktie, I have swapped out the necktie for a bow tie. There you go, my uncle. And now you can say nasty things about the Sussexes. You can serve up steaming bowls of rice to all the people in society you want to, just like some of my kinfolk are prone to do. So it shouldn't surprise you that he has been knighted. I think he's been knighted. Now, I knew he had something. Now, I don't know if he ever received this one, the one that looks like a homicide. I don't know if he's ever received this one, but I know for sure because I'm looking at the photo that he has received this one. Maybe they didn't give him the other one because they thought that may have been just a step too far, but yeah, so I wonder how this happened though. How did Uncle Ben, I'm sorry, how did Uncle Trevor Phillips, how did he take over the morning show? Was it something he said? How about this one? Sir Trevor Phillips says Meghan Markle had to learn to be black when she joined the royal family, but made a bit of a mess of it after she grew up in wealthy LA district with race never part of her background. Sir Trevor said the Duchess, 41, notice they don't mention his age, never regarded herself particularly as black. And I guess he knows this from the lengthy conversations that he has not had with Meghan. I'm sure he knows all about how Meghan has grown up and what she's been through and everything else to do with her upbringing. Pam Porter says, oh, Pam Porter, 4 months. Thank you so much for that. I bet this Uncle Trevor and Uncle Clarence Thomas are cousins. I try, I try always can find one to skin, grin, and tap dance. Yes, they tend to find them. They tend to find them. But he said other things. He said other things. I think I'm going to come up with a bow tie award for the skin folks that ain't kin folks. I think I'm going to come up with a bow tie award. Sir Trevor Phillips says Meghan Markle had to learn to be black when she joined the royal family, but made it a bit of a. Are those two the same? Wait. Oh, I guess I. You know what? I had a different one, and I forgot. It was the one about how. It was the one where she married into the family and she made a bit of a mess of it. That's what I was trying to do. There was a second one that I had, but oh well, I messed that up. But anyway, he said a lot of things, and of course, he went on to one of the Meghan Markle bully shows, and that, of course, was Hoghead Pierce Morgan. He went on to the Pierce Morgan show to say these things. And after showing his true colors, no pun intended, why do I keep doing that? That's when, of course, the good news came out about him replacing this Sophie Ridge. Tried and true. Now, he was supposed to be a chair of some council or group or something like that about race relations, and his record is pretty empty. And from what I hear, he was quite ineffective. He is just there for window dressing. He is there to make it seem as though things just aren't that bad. Things just are always fair and equitable, and that every person of color, every black person in the UK receives a fair shake. That's what he's there to remind people. Now, whether or not that's true, well, we can only go by what people have said for a long time. Like, for instance, the Windrush families, I don't know that there's any equivalent in any other race in the UK for what happened with the Windrush, where they lost your records, they deny you your benefits, and they want to get you out of the country as fast as possible. And all the people that they're doing that to just happens to be black people. Huh. Serendipity? I don't think so, right? Or is it? So, yeah. One of my favorite things to say is, looks like we got us another one. I am researching Sir Trevor Phillips, and it does not look good. He was accused of something. Uh huh. Is that right? Okay. Well, you know what, guys? I say you should do some research. You should do some research. Let me see. Kimco says this guy can't read the room. If last week was any indication, Trevor Phillips is about to get a visit from his ancestors, right? Let me see. And Laverta August says, in other words, Meghan had to learn her place like Trevor did in order to be accepted. Ooh, that's a good one. Well, like they say, different strokes for different folks. Yeah, you know what? You know what? That's probably what he was trying to say, is that she did not know her place. She didn't understand what her place was. And that is, of course, to uplift others and let them take credit for what you do, and don't do anything to help people of color except for reassure them that they are being helped even when they're not. So, yeah, that is the new recipient of the Uncle Ben's bow tie reward. uh well, okay, thank you, Ann Fu, for saying what a lot of people are thinking. Uh, Speaking of that, Gail, I keep thinking about that photo of Dan and Eamon. I keep thinking about that photo. Remember how that photo was like bothering me, how the two of them were like all snuggled up in that wingback chair? I thought that was rather weird. And not to say that there's anything between the two of them, but I just thought for some reason that the two of them were trying to send a message to someone, trying to shut someone down before they got started. But I keep thinking about that photo. It was rather strange. The whole, what, the way they positioned themselves so closely like that in a united front to tell someone something. They were sending a message, and I'm still not sure what it was, but in time we will find out. Fancy Walsum says Trevor is a piece of work. He's been kissing behind for so long he don't know how to be black himself. He shouldn't be talking about anyone because he sure don't know his. Allegedly. Exactly. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, well, that's let me see. Then we will see how really fit in. Meghan is a feminist for all women, not just of one color. Very true, Christine Rowe. Very true. And it was like I was saying with the young lady that was missing for a couple days. Um, it would really help all women if they would be more like this situation here, where they can all come together to support other women. It doesn't mean you have to believe in everybody's um, politics or religion, but still, at a certain point, you have to stand up for one another. You have to keep each other safe. So, okay. And that goes the same way for someone like Trevor in a position of power, someone with a very large platform. What are you really doing with it besides helping out yourself? Who is he really? Who does he really help? Because as far as I'm concerned, if his only purpose is to teach the young black people that if you do as I do, then your life will be fulfilled. If you lick enough boots, if you kiss enough behind, then you will have a life of fulfillment. You guys, the comments on Twitter, I started to just do a screenshot of them and share them with you, but I I thought otherwise because some of them were like, well, it's interesting to see how he has chosen to live his life, and that's not just him, but a few people that have decided to join in with the institution as though the institution is always going to sustain them. But who knows? I mean, as long as they tell them what they want to hear, as long as they jump to their defense. But, you know, I didn't think about it so much before I heard Pedo say it. But Pedo said, when you accept those honors, you have to defend them. When they give you those honors, then you are duty bound to defend the royal family. Even when they're wrong, you have to jump to their defense. And people are still accepting these. But, you know, for everyone who turns it down, there's probably about 10 people who can't wait to take it. But I love the fact that there's a lot of prominent people with very big platforms, and most of them white, that just do not want it. They do not, like John Oliver said, the classism. He said, I don't want to feed into that. Even though his wife wanted to go to Buckingham Palace, he had to tell his wife no. And that's the other way they get you, is that I'm sure a lot of people would love to say no, but then they think, oh, this would be so important to my mother. This would be so important to our family. And so they keep pursuing it and keep pursuing it until they get it and they get their pictures in the paper. But then you have a situation where you really need to speak up for Black people in the country, and you're not able to do that. You are prohibited. You have to recuse yourself because you accepted that trinket. Oh, well. So I am going to move on to the next topic. Do you guys know for a while I have not had a break beat? I'm going to have to bring back the break beat. Kate Middleton is such a prim, anemic, and vicious woman, yet the media gushes at her insipid presence like she adds something to the spectacle. Her talentless, bony behind being there for all the big games every year is flipping annoying, to be perfectly honest. Now, this was a squatty who said what a lot of people are probably thinking. And of course, we all know that if we just take a look at this photo, William is literally biting his lip because this is Kate's moment and it has nothing to do with him. Again, this is William's big moment. I'm sorry, Kate's big moment. And it has, what do you say is pronounced vacuous. Oh, okay, vacuous. Wow, you did that very well, vacuous. Thank you for putting it in a way I can actually understand it. Now, I have no idea what that means, but I have a Dyson, if that means anything to you. I have a Dyson, and I used to have a Regina upright and a Hoover. I had a Hoover before. But yeah, so if you notice, it looks like she needs a good ironing. And one of the squatties said, if that was Meghan, And sometimes I hate to keep saying it, if that was Meghan, but oh, as in mute woman, huh? As in mute woman. Thank you. Thank you. Now I get it. Now I get it. Uh-huh. Now I get it. Yeah.
Reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is.
Okay, well then that explains it. Thank you. Why didn't y'all just say mute woman? Why didn't this person just say old-fashioned mute woman instead of that vacuumous or whatever it was? Okay, so anyway, to be perfectly honest, so I want you to take a look at something. Take a look at this. Ecstatic Princess Kate beams as she hands new Wimbledon's men champion Carlos Alcaraz the winner's trophy after stunning 5-set victory against Novak Dvorak. Where's Carlos in that photo? Do you guys see Carlos? Do you see Carlos? Because this is how the Mail presented the story. And then take a look on the left side. That is a screenshot of the Mail US from top to bottom. You see that? Oh, wait, let me go back. Didn't mean to do that. From top to bottom, you can see that it pays little attention to the person who actually just won the trophy. And it's all about Kate. It's all about the mute, bony woman. Where is the winner? He's nowhere to be found. Unless you look at those two small photos just a little below the middle. You see those two small stories right there? One is about him being an underwear model, and the other is something else. But this is not her moment. You do understand that, right? This is not her moment. This actually is about the game, about the players, and most of all about the winner. So why does it feature Kate? Now, this is the UK Daily Mail headline. Royal seal of approval. Okay. Center of all of it is the Waleses. Is Carlos Alcaraz the new royal favorite? Why does that even matter? Prince George and Princess Charlotte steals the show as they punch the air in delight to celebrate Spanish superstars' first Wimbledon's men's title before then getting to meet the new champion. I just want to say, you guys know the King of Spain was there, right? As a matter of fact, the center photo where he's being embraced, that is the King of Spain. That is Philippe of Spain, the King of Spain. And all you see here is the Waleses, a very nice green dress until she put it on. But there's little or no mention of the actual winner. And wait a minute, I ain't done yet because there's more. I think it was just yesterday, there was this big fuss about how Kate was comforting the loser and helping her to accept defeat, and she's squeezing her arm and all of this performative stuff. Now, if you saw the actual video, the guy that is standing to just beneath the logo there, the guy just beneath the logo in both photos, This guy, he kept trying to motion her to come on, let's go, it's time to go, we got to go. And she was so busy into this performance where she was looking like the immaculate heart of Katie, where she was touching and caressing and hugging this girl, all in front of the cameras, just to make sure that the message goes out that this is the very affectionate Kate that we haven't seen for 11 years, right? This is the Kate that we're just finding out about. So that was the whole point of it. And then there's Juan Carlos. Notice that the King of Spain is not seated next to Kate or William or their kids. He is with his own group of people, and they are in the royal box, but yet they are not seated together, which I thought was strange. Even though he did go over to shake hands with them, and again, they didn't come to him. He had to go over there, which is the same thing that happened with the World Cup that time, is that William was very close to the, sorry about that. William was very close to the president of Italy, and yet he didn't see that it was fitting for him to go and congratulate them, even though Italy won. So I guess they expect everybody to come to them. And unfortunately, far too often, that's exactly what happens, much to my dismay. And right here, again, this is Carlos. This is Carlos's moment, but Kate has to present the trophy. I also thought that that was kind of silly, because you would think that since the King of Spain is there, that he would be the one to present the trophy. But no, Kate is the patron of Wimbledon, so that's her job. And it really reinforces the idea that, and this is why there's almost like this cult-like atmosphere with the royal family. They have so indoctrinated people to believe that nothing is official unless, nothing is official unless, where is it? Wait for it. It has the royal seal of approval. That's what makes it official. That most of life as we know it could not function if there wasn't a royal there to steal the moment, to make themselves a part of something that has nothing to do with them. So she shows up. As a matter of fact, I was reading that a lot of people have stopped watching Wimbledon because of this, because the royals ruin the moment for them. And I could see why. It's one thing for them to present the trophy. Okay, I get that. But some of this other stuff, you see what I'm saying? Where they center Kate, the future of the royal family's secret weapon, ready to rule, as they used to say on the magazines, ready to be queen, even though Camilla wasn't queen yet. That is central to the Wimbledon, is that they have to have the patron. And I don't remember it ever being like that. But then again, I don't remember the royal family being as vulnerable as they are to being deemed irrelevant by so many people, especially young people. I don't recall that either. So, well, yeah, that is the observation that I made. Lori says, so the tennis player told Kate, hugs are always welcome. So Kate finally hugged the player. Kate is into so much the royal protocol, fearing disapproval. She does not act freely or is not spontaneous. She's never been spontaneous. This is all performative. Let me see. Oh, that's for someone else. Oh, thank you so much, Black Queen. Yes, please hit the like button. There is 1,512 people in here. Please hit that like button. There should be 1,512 likes. Let me see. Angelina Stanley says, I'm sure she recounted stories of when Meghan was a working royal and she couldn't compete. Hope it helps. Oh, man. Sister and Cece, thank you so much for being here. Shay says, oh, my God, why does Kate smile like that? Do aristocrats open their mouths a lot in public? Gosh, where's the etiquette of this woman? Well, she knows that the cameras are there and she knows how to put on the performance. We all know what happens when Kate is caught off guard, when she lets slip the veil. We all know, like, for instance, right here. That's the real Kate. That's the real Kate. So everything else is a stellar performance. I have to admit, though, she's getting good at it. She has become very adept at playing up for the cameras. It's when she doesn't expect that they're watching her, that's when she gets kind of weird. But other than that, she's done pretty good playing up for the cameras. Oh, what about that time? Wait, what about the You see how she almost stepped back on the edge of that top step? Ooh. Anna Boyd, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Baron Wimbledon has always been like that. The Duke of Kent was the patron of Wimbledon. Kate was said to like tennis, so Queen Elizabeth II made her new patron 2 years ago when the Duke of Kent retired. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I had no idea. So this is why. All right. Well, I guess that makes sense because I don't remember this from, the past. And it seems like, well, and let us not forget too, Lori, a lot of this is orchestrated by the tabloids. This is part of that invisible contract because of the undermining and the leaks and all the lies and stuff about the Sussexes. It has bought them a lot of favorable press. And because they don't have the Sussexes from day to day, they have to make their money. And so that's why you see something like, where is it? This one. That's why you see all of this overwhelming coverage. The big draw, of course, is the game itself. But for the royalists, it gives them a chance to see Kate and to see the royal family doing their thing. So it's for the money for sure. It is not just to inform; it is for the money, and that ever shrinking slice of pie that they have. The people that are reading the tabloids, and the pie is shrinking because, let's face it, the audience is older and a lot of them are dying off, and the young people, they're just not interested. So that is why they're trying to sell it to the United States. You see this whole column here on the left. This is the Daily Mail for the U.S. reader. That's for the U.S. reader. That's why I did a screenshot to show you exactly how they were trying to sell this. So, moving on. Now, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to be very superficial and shallow. If they didn't want the if they didn't want the King of Spain to present the award, then why not the President of Spain? I don't think he was there, but I mean, let's face it. The man looks incredible in a suit. He has amazing hair. So I'm just trying to present an alternative. He's like, he's like Spain's, what do you call it? He's like Spain's Justin Trudeau. So I'm just putting some ideas out there. If you want to bring in a certain demographic, you got to give the people what they want. So, you got to give the people what they want. So I'm just saying, he would be good on television and good for the papers to present a trophy, right? I'm just being superficial. And take a look here. I saw this and I thought this was really cool. This is the 20 years preceding Carlos Alcaraz. This is the 20 years. It has been dominated, as you can see here. Alcaraz breaks the 20-year dominance of Federer, Dvorak, Nadal, and Murray at Wimbledon. It took 20 years to break that chain. See that? 20 years. And now is Carlos's turn. So that's a good thing. A little variety to spice things up. So congratulations to him again. He's won the trophy. He won the affection of millions of people around the world. He has a big fat endorsement deal with Calvin Klein and I think BMW and probably a whole bunch of other stuff. So he is on to riches like you wouldn't believe. So congratulations to him. I just noticed that trophy has it looks like it's a pineapple on the top. And as you know, whenever you see a pineapple in architecture or a pineapple as a symbol, it is a symbol of abundance because a long time ago, only rich people could afford to eat pineapples. So whenever you see that, that means abundance. Okay. And there was another victory. American tennis player and DC native Clervy Nuganu is the 2023 Wimbledon's girls single champion. Huh? There you go. So an American who happens to be African American has won a trophy at the Wimbledon. Okay. Mary H says, Kate Middleton really should go back to wearing her military type clothing because real women's clothing doesn't look good on her the way she's built up. That dress that she had on, I forgot who the designer was. Remember the black dress with the white going across the shoulders? And Meghan has the black jumpsuit with the, what's his name? Marora? I can't remember his name. But anyway, that's who the designer of that dress is. And I'm saying this because I want you guys to Google that designer if you know who he is. I know I'm not saying his name right, but I think it was Mamora, something like that. But anyway, Meghan's friends with him, right? Well, that is a designer dress. And as usual, you could take the nicest outfit. And for some reason, when she puts it on, it just dies. It dies. And I'm not just saying that to be funny. It does. It dies. Whenever she wears designer clothes, it doesn't do anything. It always looks so much better on the model. It always looks so much better on other people. Oh yes, Roland Murray. I think that was the designer. I think that's a Roland Murray. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh well. So anyway, somebody do the research and find out who the designer is. But yeah, that is a designer dress. I think it cost about $800-900, but you wouldn't know that by looking at her. It seems like something from any shop on the high street. Let me see. Wimbledon. Yeah, it's Roland Murray. That's who she's wearing. Thank you so much for that. And I promise you that is, oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to see who made that other dress she had on. Yeah. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she kills good fashion. I don't know. I've been actually I've been trying to figure that out. How does Kate ruin a good fashion? She's tall, she's thin, and for some reason, when she puts these dresses on, it kills it. It literally ruins it. Yeah, it kills it. It kills it. And if you guys remember, one of the royal rodents wrote an article about that. What is it? Is it about Kate that she always looks so frumpy? I don't know. Okay, so as you can see, tomorrow's headline, but take a look at the article that's beneath it. Take a look at the article. Now the royal family are dragged into the N-word race row. Well, this is an article by Nadine White. Some of you all may know her. She writes about race relations for The Independent, amongst other places. Now the royal family is dragged into the N-word race row. Offensive slur used more than 40 times in royal collection guide and only removed after investigation by The Independent. Now, you guys, it is jarring the ease in which that word was inserted into the guide. So, right here it says the royal family has been dragged into the N-word race row after dozens of references to offensive term were found in official documents. The Independent can reveal a catalog published by the Royal Collection Trust showcasing a selection of gems and jewels owned by the Royal Collection contained more than 40 mentions of offensive racial terms. The document, titled Ancient and Modern Gems and Jewels, was published by Royal Collection Enterprises Limited in 2008. It has remained on its website since then and was only removed on Thursday after it was flagged by The Independent. The latest discovery comes after we revealed last week that an offensive racial slur was included in government documents. If you guys have access to The Independent, go ahead and find it for yourself. I don't want to use it the way it was used, but I'm telling you, the ease in which I think there's like 2 examples in that article. It was as though they were saying it like that was someone's name. Like, John, can you go and fax this for me? That is the way they described the gems. That's the way they did it. Like let's say you were going to say a red convertible Chevy Corvette, right? That is the ease in which they used it. And this was on an official royal document, website document, guide. The description takes your breath away. And these are three of the items right there. So just imagine how you would describe that and just, I'm shocked. I am. I'm shocked. And I'm not surprised, but like I said, the ease in which they inserted that into the conversation is breathtaking. And we only, okay. We have seen an example of blackamoor things where the royals are concerned. The coronation photo of Camilla, it featured blackamoor candlesticks. Now, some people say they weren't, and I'm going to say, okay, maybe, maybe not. They were bronze, and the characters may or may not have been someone of African descent. But they do, for sure, at Clarence House have a blackamoor lamp, where there's an infanticized version of a black person, of an African person, holding up a light, a lantern. That for sure is a black person. And of course, the list goes on and on. The, oh gosh, what is the name of the painting that the Cambridges have in their parlor? Was it the Negro Page? Was that the name of the painting? And they did not remove that when the president and first lady of the United States showed up. They were just as proud to leave that in place. However, at the last minute, someone said, well, so they didn't take it down. They just put a lamp in front of it. And that was it. But they have many artifacts, many examples, many jewels within the royal collection depicting Black people. African treasures, British colonizers stole from Africa. Yeah, like the Benin bronzes that they refused to return. If you are from the area known as the Benin area, which I think is now part of Nigeria, is modern day Nigeria, you have to buy a plane ticket if you can get a visa, and you can go to the museum to see something that was looted from Africa. Now, not at all. There are 13, I think, newspapers and agency royal correspondents on the rota, in addition to a similar number of television and radio reporters and producers. I don't believe any of them ever wrote a story about royal protocol breaches. Oh, really? Oh, really? Said someone on the Sussex squad. What about this? I think I see protocol, right? You guys see that? Royal shock, Meghan Markle breaks royal protocol again with vulgar fashion move? Oh, what about this one? Richard Palmer. Prince William and Kate hire Spanish nanny with 20 years experience for Prince George. However, when the Sussexes decided to hire an American, they broke the royal tradition, didn't they? That was a breach of protocol, says the Sussex Squad Detective Agency. This is why we keep receipts. This is why we keep receipts. So I have things organized where I have references to Dickie Palmer, Dickie Arbiter, just about every Dickie. I have something, and I hang on to them. So on those Twitter streets or wherever the fight may be, we can bring the truth in exchange for the lies that they tell. Now, people have been saying Charles doesn't look very well. All I can say is this. I remember the Queen was doing weird things cutting cakes before she passed, like here, where she used the saber, and there, where she took a knife and just chopped into the cake. That's when you know somebody is getting to that point. I'm just saying that, and of course, shaking hands with Liz Truss. As you can see, much to the shock of this courtier or whoever she is, as soon as they brought the cake out, rather than just slice it, the Queen decided to just stab it. So I'm just saying that's when you know that a person is like, getting to that point. So I would rather have Charles instead of William. So I hope Charles is not on his way out, but I was like, where have I seen that before? And as I mentioned, I always keep receipts. I was like, oh yes, the Queen did that a few times before she passed. And there she is chopping and gouging at that cake within the last year of her life. So yeah, be careful, Charles. Be careful. Book review by Alok Jagirwal. He says, Spare by Prince Harry book review. My guru says the way of karma and unfathomable. Read this book to understand the gravity of this wisdom completely. Terrifically written, heartbreakingly sad, numbingly melancholic, and teeth-grindingly frustrating. Spare makes you relish your banality and being a commoner. Yeah. This is the story of Prince Harry's, narrated by himself, as naked as he can be, striking, revealing, and deeply painful. I recommend it as a must read, the tale of a young boy who is forever traumatized by the loss of his mother, terrible relations with his family, and constant torture by the press. A must read. So this was a very recent tweet by this person, and he has a blue check mark, as you can see. And he just finished Spare, and he highly recommends it for various reasons. So Spare is number one for a reason. Now, the comments that went along with this tweet, or that was added to the tweet from a bunch of haters, those comments are so hollow and so empty, because when you consider how many people, whether it was a PhD, child psychologist of some sort, whatever, people who have credentials when it comes to writing, all of these people agree that Spare is groundbreaking. Okay? People who have a higher pay grade than I'll ever have in life all agree that Spare is a good book. So at first I was a bit triggered when I saw some of those nasty comments, but now they don't bother me at all, because those are people who likely have not read the book. Some of them say they'll never read it, but yet Spare is dominating 2023. Dominating 2023. So it does not matter what those haters think. Spare is very well written. Harry's story is thought-provoking, compelling. It definitely will help a lot of people. Anyone who's gone through childhood trauma can relate to Spare. So it transcends every socioeconomic level, every culture. There's a story to be told by everyone, and everyone has a story that they can relate to when it comes to spares. So too bad for the haters. I guess you can go back to your echo chamber and talk about Meghan being 65 years old and she lied about her age. What children? They don't exist. What else? Harry is jealous of William. All that nonsense. Go back to your echo chamber. We've had enough of it here. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, yes, the Lady Sussex was on today. I listened to it earlier. Let me put that at the top of the chat. Yes, the Lady Sussex was on. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat. So if you guys are not subscribed, please do. And you guys, please pray for the Lady Sussex, her mother, her family. Please pray for them. She hasn't been on. She's had a lot going on. She's working a lot. And if that's not overwhelming enough, then her mother had a medical episode and she is she's involved with that. So she wanted to come on for people who of course look forward to the Real Life Cinderella on Sundays like myself. And so she came on to talk to us and to let us know what was going on in her life right now, going on with her family. So please go over there and show your support. Maybe I'll put a card up later, but do go over there to the channel and show your support. And with that, you guys, let me see. I think I am. Am I done? Oh, yes, I am done. I am so done. That was the end of it for today. But thank you so much for that, Lydia. I don't know how that slipped my mind, but I had the full intention of bringing that up. Let me see here. And of course, once we get to our queens, then we know it's that time. Yeah, my voice is giving out on me for some reason. There we go. Oh, Sean says, Andrew, you're not only a sicko man in Britain, you're disgusting. Yeah, you're not the only sicko man in Britain. And of course, disgusting. Thank you so much for that, Sean. And thank you for the super chat. Sean, you must have been really busy lately. We miss you here on Royal Sussex. But if you're multitasking, working, or driving, or whatever you're doing, thanks for sending a shout out. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I will very soon be looking for the last word of the day. As much as I love that one, Sean, I gotta come up with something else. Let me see here. Oh, Sean, you're about to go to bed? Are you about to go to bed? Okay. Well, that's probably a good idea for some of y'all that's up late for Royal Sussex tonight. And I'm thinking tomorrow may also be another late night, but I hope not. Okay. All right, I'm just looking for your comments here. Anyway, as usual, we honor our queens. Good night, Maggie Howell. Yeah, hour and 25 minutes. That's a little longer than I was hoping, but remember, it's National Ice Cream Day, so if you got some Ben and Jerry's frozen over in the corner of your freezer, please go and get it out and eat some ice cream to celebrate National Ice Cream Day. Okay, yes, and B10. We haven't heard from B10 yet, right? She hasn't been in on any other. Of course, I don't expect her to, but just to let us know how she's doing and everything. So I will be glad to hear from her when she can. But if you're listening by any chance, B10, no rush. We are here for you. We are definitely here for you. Okay. And that will be our last. No, I'm just kidding. Not that one, but And you stop reading my mind. I'm not thinking about how bad she makes the dress look right now. That much. That often. Okay, so what is going to be our last word of today is... Okay, Cookies and Cream says, everyone please stay safe, don't peg and hydrate. Okay, I accept. Thank you. And with that, thank you to the moderators. Thank you all for your memberships. I love the 22 months for Elaine Parker. 22 months. I want to say probably Elaine and there's a few of y'all that's got 22 months at this point, I'm sure. But and of course Lydia, who was like really staying on me to get the memberships going. Had she not said anything, it could have been a whole another year before I actually got a membership going. Yeah, I can be very that way. Okay. Peace and love to you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's another good last word for today. I love that one too. Thank you so much for that. All right, you guys. Remember, as I said at the very beginning, please be mindful of your spaces, especially ladies. Please be mindful. There are some weirdos out there, and we don't want to give them the benefit of their depraved thoughts. So try to be in a very safe space when you're using your phone. Also, they have something called when you go to the gas station, take your key out of the car, put it in your pocket. Even if you have the keys that, the sensor keys where you don't have to use the key, put it in your pocket and lock the doors. Lock the doors. Keep that in your pocket and lock all the doors, because there are people at the gas stations who like to reach in and grab your purse. They scurry across the ground. Same thing at the cemetery. When you go to visit loved ones, you think that's a sacred place. There are people that steal out of the car while you're at the cemetery. So let's not give these punks the benefit of their nasty thoughts. Just be mindful of your space and where you are and how you move around. Head up, eyes forward, and look sure of yourself. And that's one way to make sure that you're not a victim, right? And that goes for you men too. Make sure you're aware of your spaces. Okay? Love you guys. Don't want anything to happen to you ever. So please do that. All right. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger and sleep well, or enjoy your day if you're just starting your day. And remember, there are no leaks in Montecito. There just aren't any leaks in Montecito.
of Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
Service isn't loud. Service is what happens in the quiet when people aren't looking. It's about how we take care of each other every single day. It's about the camaraderie we share, the laughs, the comfort, the pain, the challenge, and yes, the banter. Throughout my time in the military and after, I recognized and understood that for many who have served or are still serving, it might not feel right to stand out amongst the team and be recognized, but you deserve to be recognized. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Salute to freedom. Those words were delivered by Prince Harry on the night of the Salute to Freedom Gala on board the United States aircraft carrier, which is now a museum. On that night, the Intrepid Valor Award honorees included Air Force veteran Master Sergeant Kyle Hines, surviving spouse of Lieutenant Colonel Matt Block, Barbara Block, Army Special Forces veteran Julian Kitching, United States Navy service member Wayne T. Garvin, and Marine Chief Warrant Officer Stephen Rudinsky. Julian Kitching shared his experience that night, and it's actually not just his experience, but it was his wife's experience that caught my attention.
Sitting with Meghan, I think it was seeing my wife sitting with Meghan Markle. So here's what happened. We walk up to this table, and I didn't realize that they weren't going to seat us together. My wife was freaked out. She was like, "Oh, where's my name?" So she's running back and forth between tables, and she never went around our table and saw that she was seated next to Meghan. And then she lights up and she said, "Oh, I'm good, honey." I'm like, "Oh," so now she doesn't want to sit next to me anymore. She was so happy. And they just talked like old friends the whole night. So it was so cool for her to be able to have that experience. I think it was really good. And it was great for me to just watch her. She was just glowing all night long. It was surreal, but also like a deep sense of gratitude, and also a sense that the journey that I was on was necessary, and that the healing that I attained, that I was able to get at home base, was something that I almost owed to my family. I was very thankful to see people in all these different spaces and places elevating this issue of people needing to getting the help that they needed. And I think for me, there was this sense at some point, and I can't remember when it popped in my head, but that I was going to get healed or die trying. And I wanted people to, I think in that moment on the Intrepid, I think I was just like, people need to get the help. And and I think what I said was that veterans out there, deserve peace. They deserve happiness. They don't have to live like this, and help is available. And so I think that if anything, I was just focused on like being up there on stage is just a representation of people that are making a choice to get help. And that's what's important. That's what's key. That's what's critical. It's not about Julian Kitchen getting an award. It's about the broader community getting the help that they deserve and that they need, and that we as a country and civic society owe them.
One of the best moments of the night, especially for Julian Kitchen, was not just noticing that his wife had the delight of sitting next to the Duchess of Sussex. Regretfully, I cannot find a clear image of that, but there was also the moment when the Duchess of Sussex said,
Northwestern, right? Oh,
I mean, you could barely hear it, but the Duchess said, Northwestern, right? And he said, who told you? And she said, oh, well, I know a little bit about everybody here. And he just threw his head back and laughed. I mean, that's all he could do, because he was like just amazed that the Duchess of Sussex actually had done her research before showing up to this wonderful event. So just goes to show you how in touch the Sussexes are. They don't take anything for granted, and they don't take anybody for granted. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.